Hi everyone and welcome to Transcendent Music Blog. My name is Roman and I'm here to welcome you to our first video review. We finally arrived at YouTube. We wanted to arrive at YouTube for I have no idea how long now. We predominantly failed because of technological issues. I have no idea what happened eventually all the time. But we now made it and I want to welcome you to our first video review, and I am going to review Hexer's latest release, Realm of the Feathered Serpent, which came out I think quite some time ago now, but I think this is a perfect release to start with our video reviews. So first about Hexer, the band in general. Hexer is a doom metal band from Dortmund. I first got to know them with their last release, Cosmic Doom Ritual, and when they played live in Dortmund, starting an evening for at Apollo, who at that evening introduced their latest instrumental album. I think this was in a tight studio. Was quite a private evening with not a lot of people, so it was a perfect introduction to the band. Apart from that, it's also quite important to know that there were quite some lineup changes between Cosmic Doom Ritual and Realm of the Feathered Serpent, which means that former bass player as well as former drummer that were active on Cosmic Doom Ritual left the band, and we don't have a new bass player now, but there is a new drummer that entered the band for Realm of the Feathered Serpent, which is also quite important to know, but we're going to talk about that later. So the first impression when entering this album with the first track, Ethereal Blitz, is pretty difficult because it's difficult to even state a genre of what you're listening to. I mean, you have this general impression also going by Cosmic Doom Ritual that this is doom metal, which is even difficult already only to pin this music down to doom metal, because there's also a lot of black metal influences going on. But apart from that, it's also difficult going by the guitar sound that you can hear on those first seconds already. Which is a great way to immediately catch the attention of the listener because you have no idea what's going on. And also from the start on, you get the idea that the theme that is going on in this album points exactly in the direction of the title, which is the Realm of the Feathered Serpent. So Feathered Serpent is something that comes from Central American culture, and so ancient Central American culture, and you immediately get the idea that the Central American ancient cultural influences are all across the music, especially going by those opening guttural vocals. So guttural not in the meaning of death metal guttural, but like real guttural vocals. I have no idea how to explain that. And also the drumming that immediately points at this old sound. I mean, you feel like you're summoning something all the time, and you're pretty much afraid to find out what you're summoning. This is just absolutely great right from the beginning. Going by the guitars, which I mentioned already, it's again difficult because all the time it feels as if those guitars are clean. So as I was listening, especially when I first listened to this release, I was wondering throughout the entire time if those guitars are clean. And actually, I think I didn't find out while first listening to this release, only later on, because at some spots you just can't tell if there's any distortion going on. Spoiler, yes, I guess. But especially when there's a lot of sustain going on, you just can't tell if there is a lot of distortion on those guitars, which I think also constructs this difficult sound, also this difficult to grasp sound, because you don't expect guitars like that going on a sound like that the tone itself is already quite great. But apart from that, also the riffing throughout the entire release is absolutely great. I mean, you have great doom, long, slow riffs going on at some points, but apart from that, you also have a very brilliant, straightforward riffing going on. And when you have those faster riffs, um, you can hear that there's some overdrive distortion going on. Uh, but during those slower riffs, it's sometimes even difficult to tell. Uh, However, apart from that, you also have a lot of clean interludes going on where you also get the idea that there are even some, I mean, it feels as if there are even some Middle Eastern guitar influences also going on top of this already quite prominent Central American theme, which just opens up a very broad theme for the entire album. I mean, this is just absolutely great, adding so many different flavors only on the guitars already. So next aspect that catches your attention on this release is also the aspect I think that is the heart of this release. And this is also why I said in the beginning that I'm going to come back to the drums, because in my opinion, those drums are definitely the aspect that are the heartbeat of this album. So with this new drummer, I think this was just the perfect choice, because the drums really are the aspect that kind of uphold this Central American theme all the time, especially going by Jaguar Night, which was also the first single released before the album. Um, the intro drums are just, I mean, you listen to these drums, this is just next level shit. So I have no idea how to explain that. Starting off with these drums, you're even kind of disappointed when the rest kicks in. So not disappointed by the sound. I mean, it's a great song, but those drums, this intro is just so damn great, and you just want to hear more from that. Um, Apart from that, however, it's not only this track where those drums are so great. There are other tracks as well. You always have those very distinctive drum interludes going on. You have also the general rhythms on this album where the drums always bring up this certain fresh tone, which means that you don't get bored in any spot, because it's always different. I mean, it's of course also the guitars, as I mentioned already, that kind of have a great riffing going on, switching between different styles, switching between clean and kind of distorted, but also the drums are absolutely catchy on this album. I mean, the drum playing is just top notch, out of the box drum playing that definitely lifts this release to a next level compared, for example, to Cosmic Doom Ritual, which was a great release as well. But especially those drums that, on the one hand, construct this or uphold this Central American idea, but on the other hand, also construct this absolutely distinctive sound, are the key point on this release, in my opinion. So, going by the vocals, not having talked about the vocals so far, but the vocals are also the aspect that kind of tie to this black metal sound. So, as I stated in the beginning, there is some black metal going on. I mean, it's also kind of in the riffing and also in the drumming on the later tracks, but also the vocals are a key aspect that stick to this black metal sound, because you have very straightforward black metal vocals that fit to this entire release. I mean, especially when getting back to those guitars, this tone that is very distinctive, and then also adding these black metal vocals, which is kind of different from what you can hear on the guitars. This constructs this you get the point of where this band wants to go when you have the combination of these instruments and vocals, and in combination you get this genre, and this is also why you can to a certain extent talk about uh, doom and black metal when talking about this release, which means, in my opinion, the vocals are definitely the perfect addition um, to kind of gain the sound this band probably also wanted to gain. Of course, also going by the fact that this was also the style of vocals. These were also the vocals that you can hear on Cosmic Doom Ritual, and which is also, I think, genre-wise element that this band wants to uphold. Which also constructs a great sound, great distinctive sound, and also adds to this general idea that you can hear in this release. So apart from everything mentioned already, there's also quite a progression going on the album, which means that, especially when also taking a look at the drums, um, you have a switch at the fourth track, Miasmic, which is a shorter interlude. Um, because on those tracks before, you always have those drums that are closely sticking to this Central American theme. I mean, of course, not all the time, but there are always hints at that. However, after this interlude track, the final two tracks launch deeper into this more straightforward blasting black metal sound. So now we get, especially on the last track, we get those distinctive blast beat sounds, also showing again that the drums are great on this release, because again the drums show a shift in the genre of what we can hear, which is just absolutely great again. So going by this interlude track, this album also goes deeper into a more black metal doom sound, and this again also shows that Hexer is able to jump between genres with no great effort at all. So it seems quite natural to this band to come up with a mixture of a lot of genres, and I think this is also an element that needs to be taken into consideration when talking about a release. So not talking about a very distinctive tone or very distinctive tracks, but also talking about the capability of a band constructing a release that in its entirety is also interesting from start to finish, with progression on the album as well. So eventually, and going by this release in general, I think the Realm of the Fetid Serpent is going to come up in some album of the year lists, because um, this is a tone or a style of music that was new and refreshing, especially when you're going into this black metal, doom metal mixture kind of genres. Um, and I think this is also something that kind of puts this album on top of many other releases. Um, just trying something new, combining genres or combining styles or combining ways of playing music in an absolutely refreshing and new style is something that I love a lot. I really like the fact of bands going in between five, six, seven genres. I have no idea how many genres are going on here, showing that they are able to be dynamic and switch between those genres, but also, on the other hand, being able to combine those in a very organic way. So not only having a band switch between different genres, and you kind of get the idea that it's absolutely evident that they are switching between typical genre elements, but a band being able to combine all of this um, into something that feels as one, so feels very organic, which is definitely the fact on the Realm of the Feathered Serpent.